Good morning, team. Welcome to, of course, live trading. We're going to get right to the trading action. I'm going to play that intro. Stick around, hit the like. Let's get to the action.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, team, I'm back. Sorry about that, team. I don't know if I was muted before. I'm just getting started. It's a lot going on, team. And, like always, Mitch trying to hold it down here. I'm by myself today. I thought Zunaid might join me, but looks like he might not be joining us today. I haven't gotten a confirmation on that. But I'm here, team. I'm ready to go and ready to trade like always. Let's get to the action. We're going to keep focusing on the markets. Let's get right to it. Of course, MOS has been one of the strongest stocks as of late. I've been talking about this on start swing trading. So if you guys are missing that, definitely probably missing out, team. If you guys haven't checked out our start swing trading show, that starts at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. You're missing out some good trades, right? NTR was a nice one that we talked about, and we actually talked about that here. That was you guys in the chat talking about certain stocks after I saw MOS. And yesterday, I sold this one. Nice 6% winner. We'll see what happens on this one. We've also had X for a 6% winner this week. And this looks like it wants to continue going. So keep your eyes on some steel plays today. Nucor continuing to go. We've talked about Cleveland Cliff, Steel Dynamics. Those are pushing. And right now, a swing trade that I have, Picard, right back to the top side. Let's go. Let's see what we can do on this one. Up about 4.5% on this name. Going to look for that push up. And there's another one that's up also. AU almost clearing the gap already. We got in this one 3 days ago at 17. Now looking for this to kind of come up and close this gap towards 18.15. We'll see what happens on this one. Up about 4.2% on this one. And one that I took yesterday, American Airlines, looking good here as we come back to the trend line. Can we break through the 17? Why did I take American Airlines, you might be asking? Well, look at UAL. That's been pushing strong. I remember I was trying to grab this one on the pullback. Ended up getting stopped out slightly below the 48. It's back to the 53s. We'll see what happens there in UAL. Let's get through some stocks that had the earnings today. I'm going to really quickly run through some stocks. Then I'll take some from you guys. We got about 13 minutes. Let's keep it going, team. Smash the like. Let's go. All right, let's go to the bigger stocks. Then we'll go to some of the smaller stocks. We can even use my Benzinga Pro to find some scanners action to see what is popping right now. Costco, big pullback on the day. Going to look for a monthly pullback towards around 450 or a turnaround to 500 because right now it's looking like it's on the pullback. Getting out of this one, let's go to AVGO. That's Broadcom. Usually don't trade this one. This is a $600 stock. I'm just going to let this one keep going. It does look like it's holding a nice trend, but it could always pull right back around. Not really a stock that I like to trade often. Marvell, one of our disaster stocks on the day, pulling back. Maybe it gets a pullback towards around 40. That's around the level that I can maybe see a bounce in Marvell, but it's all going to depend also. If the Qs can bounce, keep an eye out on that. We're right back up to 295s. There's no reason why Marvell can't bounce today. Of course, AI will be on a lot of people's radars as this one had earnings and it jumped up. We'll keep an eye out to see if we can get some hourly pullback levels. And that's what I always look at, right? You guys know how I like the hourly charts. We'll see what happens here. We drew this line a while back here, right? We drew this on February 16th. We just updated it. We're going to pull this line here and see where we could get the pullback to. So areas that I'm going to be looking for pullback are going to be closer towards 23. So I'm going to look for a deep red to green move, maybe coming in AI. If it does pop to the upside, that's a pop above 26. So if it pops through 26, goes straight to like 26.74, then I'll look for a little bit of a bounce near, let's say, like the 25.50s. If you guys are looking for that push, we'll see what happens there. This one is AI. All right, let me just keep going. Let me take a look at some other names. Of course, there's going to be our disaster stock is really Zscaler. Will this bounce back? And what will this affect with PanW and the other cybersecurity stocks? This one actually had good earnings, right? Has continuing in the trend. Will it pull back today? or push towards the upside. If I do see Pan W push to the upside, maybe Zscaler just makes up the wall of worry and the pain that it had in the pre-market. CrowdStrike is another one, right, in cybersecurity that has been starting to trend back to the upside. And I like how you're starting to see this kind of trend just keep holding, right? And now that we're starting to break out above this, it looks like it's trying to give a nice little push towards around the 130 spot. That's kind of like the next spot around 125. You'll have some resistance. And if we can clear that 125, look at this little gap zone to the left. We can come and fill this, right? And you guys know how we've been seeing a lot of gap fills lately. This is actually one that's definitely on the radar. I could see this one filling in there, so keep your eyes on that. Will CrowdStrike get into the 125, 130s, and maybe eventually up there towards right below 140s? All right, let's keep going. Hard to trade and produce the show, I would imagine. You have no idea, Sabrina. And the big thing is that you guys have no idea about Slack on the right-hand side. This thing just like, I try to do my best, team. Multitask, multi-windows, looking around for you guys out there, what's on the move. And of course, trying to manage my own trades, right? That's a whole nother ball game, but we could talk about that. Let's keep going out of CrowdStrike. Let's go to some stocks from the chat. I'm gonna rely on you guys for some of the smaller names today, because let's just be honest, I don't trade too many of the smaller names, but I do like to focus on them. I know the Crow will probably be here helping me out. And Crow, if you want to join today, you're welcome. Or anyone. You know what? I'm opening the door to anybody. If you want to jump on the show today, maybe just audio, you guys are free to do so. I'll let you guys know, and I can drop in the link. And we can have up to 10 people in here with me trading today if you guys want to join. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some smaller names. I did see FSLR. Of course, it's a bigger name that's continuing. I want to keep an eye out on SEDG. Yesterday, we got a pullback day. That would look like an opportunity for me. It's already back towards 325, so definitely keep your eyes on this one. When I've seen this one run, oh, it's taken off. So I really like this little setup here. Back above, let's say, the 330s, pushing strong. Be careful with this name because the range is massive. So keep that in mind. The range is massive. On one day, it can move like about 10, 15 points. So you got to keep that in mind so you don't get destroyed in it. Let's go to those smaller names. XELA. All right, team. This is as cheap as it gets, man. When you're going for XELA, I mean, that one's a tough one. It's at 7 cents. Can it get to 9, 10? Maybe. But am I going to trade this? Guys, when you're trading a stock like this, just realize, even the smallest move to 9 cents, that's a 36% move. But the same thing can happen for the 5-cent move down, where it's 24% down. So be careful. Percentages, when you're dealing with these small names, can really destroy accounts. Keep that in mind. Maybe not to put all your eggs in one basket, especially an 8-cent basket, right? Let's just be honest. All right, let's keep going. ATLX, says Becca. I'll take a look at that. ATLX. Let's go to it. 17 doesn't look too bad. Let's rewind on the hourly. Put some levels where we see it, right? You can see the topping out action towards the kind of the 20 spot. I have 1890s there. You could round it to the 20 if you wanted. And then I always look to the left. Can prior resistance become support? And you can see here, prior resistance, now it becomes support, right? And so that looks good there. That's the pullback towards 12. Now that we've broken back through that level, right, we got to keep a watch, right? Because we could get a little bit of a pullback and then the rip. I'm going to look for pullbacks closer towards 15 on this kind of action where we got above. We kind of tried to bounce off the VWAP, then broke to 17. I'm going to look for a nice little pullback, quick little pullback to 15, 1473s. And then look for back to the upside action. When these smaller names, a lot of the times I'm looking for red to green action versus green, just explosion to the upside. I don't usually like to play those plays that just rip out the gates because a lot of the times they come right back to support, and I've gotten crushed on names like that. But let's keep going. I'll take a look at some other ones. Futu. All right, that's a $52 stock trying to make a move. It's a little bit of a slower name. Hasn't moved too much, but nice little open above the 50 yesterday. Daily levels look good on this one, Futu. If it can just push towards the gap, close this back here, right? It didn't really close the gap. It came to this kind of wick here. Let's see if it comes back to here where it could be towards 57, 58. That's kind of like the upside target on that one on the Futu. ARQQ is killing it for you. Well, that's a $1.38 stock, a little bit of a slower name, trying to get back there towards the kind of the gap zone. 158, I would look at resistance, but doesn't look too bad. 138 on the name there. BZ pre-market movers. We'll take a look. Let's keep it going, team. We got about 5 minutes here. I'm trying to run through as many names as you guys throw up there, and we'll keep taking a look. Sabrina's looking at XEL for a swing. Of course, that's Excel Energy. I've gotten to the point where I don't like playing utilities, man. The utilities did me wrong earlier in the year with Duke. If you guys remember, I got stopped out right here when I was looking for this move back to 100. It's gotten me a little frustrated, Sabrina, but I hope you're able to tackle that one if you can. All right, let's keep going. What other ones? What do you think about Hub C? Let's take a look. Hub C. All right, this is a cybersecurity stock. Looks like a new stock there. So just be careful with new stocks, right? It looks like you had some resistance in the 2. So you're going to look to see if you can take that out on the upside. It's a cybersecurity stock, so who knows? Maybe it could get a little bit of a lift. I have no idea about the name, like deeper into it, like what does it do, how much money it makes. So I would have to look into that before I make a decision if I want to get in it. But hey, you guys out there, we'll see if it gets back above $2. That seems like it's resistance right now. MOS, we've already talked about it, so I'm going to keep going off of that one. We can take a look. Maybe it's CRM reversing, right? I do like this one as it's come back down, came towards around the kind of the 185 range there, and I could see it pulling back even further towards like kind of the 180 spot. So long-term on CRM, I think this jumped way too high up here. So I don't want to try to chase it here. I'm going to actually look for a pullback into some of this gap, which is the 180, 178 range, and then look to see if this can come back up through 195. Oracle was the one that we traded yesterday. This actually closed the day pretty good. Remember yesterday we were trading in this zone here in the 86.50 zone, and we got this around 86. So this came back through about 87.50. We'll look to see if it can keep getting some sympathy off of that CRM report. All right, let's keep it going. How many stocks can I get through before the open? LAZR. That one looks interesting for me on this one just because it's continued the pattern. It didn't really turn around here since it pushed from this. This actually looks pretty decent to come back up through the $10 spot. And of course, that's not going to be looking bad, right? One thing that I'd say about this is that you just have this trend to the upside. Look to see if you come and test it really quickly and then recover. So maybe a little bit of a test to $9 and then a big push to $9.50. I'll be looking for that one. Luminar Technology. I'll even set a little bit of an alert here for us. Let's set an alert at 942s, or we can also set an alert, which most people don't do. They don't do it on both levels. They do it on one level. I'll set an alert at 886 to see if we get, let's do it at 890s to see if we get a quick dip through and then a recovery on LAZR. All right, JWN on the daily. It could come back. It has pulled back here toward these levels. I really don't like trading Nordstrom. But remember, this was like kind of that exuberance pop. And man, what a short opportunity off of that Ryan Cohen mention. But let's keep going. XPOF. Bruce bringing one interesting, of course. This is Exponential Fitness, a fitness stock. Doesn't look too bad, at least on the weekly. That's what I like on this one. And I do like how it came up here, and then gave you that full pullback, full 100%, then gave you a whole new kind of trend that it broke from. Then you got this kind of sideways action here that you broke out of, now starting to hold that as support, right? Then you do the same thing here, right? Look at this, team. Look how it just levels through there, right? Well, now you're starting to get more of that to be your support. So around $24, clear support. Resistance just broke through around $27.76. So I would look for maybe a slight little pullback towards that 27. You know, if I could get the pullback towards that 27, it doesn't look bad at all. But right now it's at 29.70. The only thing I'd say about this one is it could be kind of thin. Be careful with the spread there. Where's Zunaid? I think Zunaid's going to be out for a little bit longer, team. I'm trying to get him back. I'll find out a little bit more. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? He's been taking a little bit of a break, focusing on some other areas of the business. Of course, he works with also affiliates from Benzinga, so he'll be back in some time. All right, I'm going to keep pushing strong here by myself, like always, team. When I'm by myself, it's a little bit harder to kind of trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really focusing on catching things from the chat, looking at stocks, focusing on the swings. And here's the open, team. Let's see what we get in the SPY action today. Of course, I don't have my orange juice today, and I'm kind of a little upset about that. But I got a little bit of some green machine action. I know you guys probably don't like all that green juice, but hey, we'll see what happens. Let's go. SPY starting on the downside. Wouldn't you know it? The chop out there. Keeping an eye on Picard to see if we can get above this 75. Because I do want to take some profits into 6%. We're at 4.5% there in Picard. Going to look for that push here and see if we can continue to climb. American Airlines giving me a little bit of a pop right before the open, but then just dropping here. It looks like it went to 1655. We got in this one 1586. As we keep pushing, I'm really looking at the daily chart to see when we can start getting through this trend line, right? If we get back to 1660s, I'll take some profit and then look for the expansion move back to 17s. All right, I got to get some music in here. It's going to be a tough one. All right, you guys have some stocks to throw them up. We'll take a look. Jan, Zscaler, we talked about that one. It could bounce back. There's LAZR. Boom, alert hit there. And just as quickly as we open, move to 945 there for LAZR. We can look for some pullback now, but this one didn't pull back towards that support. It went right to 918, right back up there to 940s. Let's see if we can get a pullback to VWAP. VWAP's at 926. I'm going to put some orders out at 926. 925, 920s for pullbacks, but already a nice little pop there on LAZR. Maybe play some DMX a little bit later. We'll have a little bit of fun later. And of course, we got all access at the end of the show, so stick around, team. It's going to be a great day here at Benzinga. All right, there's a little pop there to 950s there on LAZR. Going to look for some pullback action. Just got to keep watch, right? I'm even going to set an alert there for when it starts to pull back because there's so much going on right now. Got to keep watching. Let's go to the 6 chart action here and see what we see. If anything, I'm going to even maybe duplicate my chart here so I can pull this to the side. There's just so much to do, team. All right, let me try to get this going here. Let's see the SPY. What's going up on the day? Real estate, technology, and industrials making a nice move. I talked about Deere, right? Deere to 420s looks really nice. So it's starting to hold right now. Let's see if we can get a push above 424s. Doesn't look too bad. Is the cat out the hat? It's pulling back right now. We'll look to see if we get a little bit of a bounce. SPY overall is pulling back here, but I do like these levels. And look at Google. Hold that 90, team. We've talked about 90 for so long. It seems to me like someone loaded up there. So keep your eyes on Google. And we talked about that one for multiple days. I like Microsoft today on pullbacks. So I'm going to keep my eye on Microsoft to see if we could get kind of hourly levels to hold as support. That's going to be a pullback towards around 250, 58. Let's see if we get that pullback. We could also hold as this resistance as new support around maybe 251.14. So keep an eye on Microsoft to see if we can pull back and maybe try for red to green on Microsoft. All right, let's keep going. DM. Ooh, Desktop Metals with a nice little pop there. That's an interesting one. Getting a nice little pop. We'll look for pullbacks towards around 205 for Desktop Metals. I'll let you guys know if that happens. All right, major bullish push on XELA. I mean, let's take a look. That's not major, man. That's just one tick. Literally one tick. Grateful, don't do that to me, man. Don't do it, Grateful. Lows. All right, that's recovering there. I don't really like those home improvement stores, but they are getting a nice little lift today to start the day. All right. All right, let's keep going. Let's see a look. I'm sorry, team. I'm dealing with a lot. There was a Slack message. So just keeping an eye out on Pakar also to see if we can get a little bit higher in the pre-market. We're up there to 76, 67s. We'll look to see if it can hold 74 as support and keep pushing. Pakar. OBSV. All right, 24 stock. Energy got hit hard this morning. I wanted to see if it was going to actually completely collapse here. And it is getting a little bit hit there. You guys can look at maybe drip today if you guys are trying to short some oil names. This doesn't look too bad on the pullback. I would like to pull back towards, for me, closer towards this 1340 area. But I'm going to look to see if drip can get moving today a little bit. SPY is still pulling back, but could catch a bounce at any moment here. Apple to the upside looks interesting for me today. So I'm actually maybe take this right here. I like this pullback to VWAP. All right, just took a little bit there, a little starter there on Apple to the upside. I like the action off of the open towards 148.50, pulling back to the VWAP. What I also like about Apple is that I've been watching this 150 for so long on Apple. I'm going to look to see if we can push back above it. Hold pullbacks today on the hourly trend line, which is like kind of slightly right below towards 147.50. And then now look to see if we can push back above the 148s through the 148.50 to 148.75. Remember, this is a starter. I can add to it. I'll see what happens there. Let's put up multiple charts to take a look at multiple stocks today and see what's going on. That LAZR already up there to 960s. So we'll keep that one on the radar. Apple's the one that we just took, at least in the intraday. Q's getting a little bit of a bounce. SPY getting a little bit of a bounce. I'm going to take offline so I don't distract you on the SPY. SPY's this middle chart here. And I'll put myself right here so you guys can at least see a little bit better. SOXS is what here is on the bottom left. I'm going to put Tesla there to see what happens on Tesla today. It is trying to recover some on Tesla. All right, keeping an eye on AAL, keeping an eye on some different stocks. There's Apple to the upside. Doesn't look bad at all there for me. Now towards 1430s, 148.50s will be that nice push. High of the day is 148.56. Let's get it pushing through there, and then I'll take some out towards 149 and see if I can keep this pushing up on the day. Tesla pushing to the upside. I'm looking for a little bit of some upside action today in the market overall, but of course, I'm going to let the market tell me, not just get on that confirmation bias, right? One thing that I could point to, let me go to the scratch. One thing I'd point to is how we've gotten through that kind of hourly trend and actually broke up on the upside after yesterday breaking on the downside of it. There's Apple now towards 148.50s, just tapped it at 148.50. Let's see if it takes it out. Huge seller on LAZR at 954. Looks like he got blown through there. Said Doji, DE popping off. Deer, baby. Deer. That looks good there. I almost took Deer yesterday, but I didn't want to double dip with Pakar, right? And so I thought Pakar was the better looking chart. So I went after that one and see if the cat the hat catches a red to green move because it's been pushing as of late. Apple trying to get back above that 148.50s. Let's see if it gives that drive. Tesla pulled back immediately. That's not looking the best. NVIDIA just battling around right now. AMD is one to watch, right? They got that Dan Loeb ad yesterday, passive stake. It popped massively yesterday on that. I was looking for pullbacks towards 78.50s, but it seems like it's holding right now around the 79.50s. We'll see what happens there on AMD on the day. AI jumped on the earnings. Yes, AI should be on the watch there. It did pull back here right now towards support around kind of the 24 spot, but I'm looking for a pullback to 23 on the red to green. I'll definitely set an alert here towards the upside to see if we get to 26. And also for AI, we're going to put a crack through towards, let's do 23.20s. If it gets down there, I'll be looking for maybe it buy the dip off of 23. We'll see what happens. LAZR to 975, still pushing, team. That's been a nice little push out the gates. That's a 5.7% move there, a name that we were looking at in the pre-market. There's Apple trying to push through that 148.50. All my swing trades into the green right now, so just trying to let trades work in the favor, right? Let the market work for me, not me work for the money. All right, what else is going on out there, team? You guys keep throwing up those names. VLD on the move. Not bad. That's a Velodyne name. Yeah. And you're right. Off of sympathy from DM, I could see that. Definitely a smaller move, but doesn't look too bad. At least it's off the VWAP there. DM up there to 222 and continuing the strength. No pullback yet. All right, let's keep a look. I'm going to keep watching also the main charting action so I can keep up with the sectors. On the day, technology leading, real estate and healthcare behind that. So healthcare not having a bad day there. You guys can keep your eyes on some healthcare names. I know someone mentioned OBSV. You can see how I find it, right? That's another way to find it. Grateful to God. Is I'm just looking at the top leading stocks in the sectors. Top 3 sectors, a lot of the times are going to be, for me, the best ones to be after on the day, but they can always switch around, right? The rotation can always be coming up and down. Technology leading the day right now. So not mad about this Apple move. Let's see if we can really get it to keep moving through that 148.50, now towards 148.70s. Going to take some profit through the 149s and then look for this to continue to work, team. We'll see what happens there as it keeps pushing. $148.75. We're almost to taking some profit here as it breaks through 149. I'll look to take a little bit of profits. There we go. Up there towards 148.80s. It got close there, 148.89s. Let's see if we take out that 149. And I could take some profits there on Apple. This was a VWAP bounce type of trade. There's 88 showing up there. Can we get through the 149 range on Apple? How's Microsoft doing? There's a nice little uptick for Microsoft. Google holding strong on the day. That doesn't look bad either. Tesla, will you reverse right back to the upside? Keeping my eye on some of the bigger names, right? Is Amazon in the green today? Yes. All right, didn't get that 149 exit. It went to 148.90s. Still going to look for that push towards 149. Of course, this is a smaller position here, so I don't want to just run to the profit. Try to let the trade work for me. Get up there towards that 149. We'll see if we get the lift or not on the day. All right, let's keep pushing, team. How's the SPY doing right now? Got to keep an eye out to see if we're not going to just get a downturn there. LAZR, what a move there. 990s now, almost at $10, 7% move there. Early mention on the day. Mitch, your sector list is great. Is there something similar available on Benzinga Pro? I've been trying to get them to work this in a little bit. They've been working it in. It's on the kind of the list of things to get done right now. You can do certain things like this. You can look through certain sectors. The only thing and the reason why you see me using TC sometimes is because it's on a one-pager. Like I can do all this on one page. I want to be able to do a lot of things on one page. I feel like on Benzinga Pro, you can do it, and I can show you guys exactly how I'd go about it there. So on Benzinga Pro, and I always have my Pro on my right-hand side, so just to kind of keep that in mind, right? Well, you can do it in different ways. You could do it in like kind of pre-market action. This is my kind of pre-market scanner. Let's do it in the intraday scanner here so I can show you guys it. This is my intraday scanner here, 15-minute regular session. but you would have to go here and do it by sectors, right? And so maybe you're looking at something that tells you what sectors are leading, and then we could take a look, right? We saw technology take a lead today, so I could put information technology here and just look at those stocks that are up. So there you guys see it, Veru, Very, LPSN. We've talked about certain names like that, right? LPSN doesn't look bad. It's pushing there, 1138. Look at that. Caught a nice one there, team. That one's actually really driving. Look at that move, 1040 to 1050 now. This one's driving, team. And then there's also Very that's driving there. That's about 7 to 750s. Neo. These are definitely going to be some smaller names, but they're definitely getting the lift. Okta, Damo, Dell having a nice little push there. So this is how you can find names also. It's just a little different, right? I'll always show you ways that you can do it. And you need tools. Tools are so important, team. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action. Always, Laura, I got you. Let's keep going. Very a good long-term hold, says Carmen. Hey, that LPSN, that thing's pushing, team. Look at that. Whew. Nice little push there on that one. We'll see if that keeps driving there. Keep an eye on Apple. We're starting to get that drive back there. Let's take a look here. If I could take some profit into the 149s. There you guys see it. It just clicked there. Let's see if we can get a little drive above it. I'm taking that right there. Boom. 147.99 there. Boom. Let's go. 149. I'm sorry there. 147.99 is where I bought. Come on, Mitch. Sorry, I was just looking into the trades there. Boom. Not a bad little first profit there on Apple on the day. You're going to leave the rest, break even, 147.99, and let this kind of work on the day. If it has a nice little push on the day, we'll keep taking some profits. If not, I can go ahead and just break even on the rest. All right, just got an alert on AI, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that one, team. I'm trying to set the alerts a lot today so I can just go ahead and let you guys know. Like always, team, you guys take everything I say with a little bit of a grain of salt. All right, trying to do my best like always, Lindsay. I'm always here for you guys, and I'm always trying to get as much as I can do. Look at that push now back here on AI. We're starting to drive there. So on AI, we came down there to about 24 and reversed, all right? Now you're back up through here. I'm actually going to look for a VWAP pullback to 25, but it does look like it's trying to take off through 26. Remember, this one has big ranges. That's about 3.84% back down to the VWAP. We'll see what happens if this one can really, truly get it going. One thing that happened here, hourly pullback from the pre-market support around 24.33s. I'm looking for pullbacks back towards this closing level around 25.38s. And then if we go here, and then we go towards the 1 minute now, 25.38s, resistance. Let's see if it cracks there. Even comes down slightly below that. I'll be looking for a little pullback action. AI, baby. Microsoft getting the lift today. I do like that look on Microsoft. That is pushing. I've talked about the 250 levels look good there for Microsoft. Google overall now to 93s when we were talking about that 90s for so long. And sometimes, Mitch, you got to take that 90. It's okay. Hindsight 2020. We always think about things like this as traders. Just push it to the side. Keep working, team. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at solar names. Let's go. SunPower getting a little bit of a lift. Not my favorite solar name to trade, but hey, maybe SEDG going for the 330s. This looks good, team. If I can get a little pullback to 324 right now, I'll take a shot here in SEDG. All right, just looking for pullbacks on this. Trying to set in some orders here on the pullbacks. All right, I'll let you guys know if I do take that SEDG. That's a little bit of a wide spread. Be careful with a name like this. You got to know how you're averaging in on a name like this. I'll look for a pullback there for solar. Going to look for that to continue. ENPH to look good. That's a nice little level too off of maybe 213 pullbacks. That's the way I like it. You guys choose your own levels. But SunPower was the one that was mentioned in the chat. That's already getting moving, so it doesn't look too bad there. LAZR, let's go. All right, so LAZR has the pullback VWAP towards kind of right here at the 977s. I think that's a little bit high for me. And the reason why is that you can see the up action from when we open. So I'd actually be looking at more like a 5-minute or 15-minute to look for at least a little bit of some pullback action. So maybe back here towards the 950 level is where I like it. But like always, you guys determine your own levels. I'll be looking for a pullback to 950s. If not, this one could keep running on the day. And we saw this one out the gates. Just ripped, man. It just ripped. VLD still doing well there too. Of course, we talked about that one with DM. That still is pushing there. SEDG already pushing to the highs, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get that pullback fill there. I'm going to cancel out right now on those orders that I had set up there, and we'll just keep watching. All right, looking at Apple here, it did pull back from that 149, so I'm glad that I took some profits there. Now to kind of keep letting the trade work, it's okay to pull back, but not okay for me to break 148 right now. I wanted to just keep driving. How's our SPY doing? SPY just put in a nice number towards 400. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla looks interesting for me. If it can pull back right now towards 194, I might even take my shot back towards the upside 200. And maybe it just fills this gap, right? Well, we'll see what happens on Tesla. It's definitely broken trend as of late, but can always recover. Got to be careful when you're playing that Tesla dragon. All right, let's keep going. Rivian being talked about here. Yeah, that's a nice little comeback move on Rivian. Doesn't look too bad there as it's pushing back to make some of the losses after a huge loss after the last couple of days. It was down about 17, 18%. I think it could come back even towards maybe half of this, around 1760s on the day, but it's a tough trade. For Rivian, I'd look for pullbacks closer to 16. That's just because of me. I'm always looking at support and resistance pullbacks. You guys choose your own levels. If you guys like the VWAP, that's around 1620s. Woo, let's go, let's go. Time for a little green machine action and time to keep it going right here on none other than Benzinga. And if you guys haven't checked out Benzinga Pro before, what are you waiting for, team? Come on, check out Benzinga Pro. All right, let's keep it going. Using that Benzinga Pro to tell me about stocks that are moving here, especially these kind of cheaper names. I see Wolf show up on here. It's not a cheaper name, but definitely popping here. Semiconductor after this got hit. Looks like it got hit yesterday on the earnings. It's making back all those earnings this morning. Let's look at Marvell. Will Marvell make up all its gains, all its losses? It looks like it's really pushing. Let's look for maybe a little bit of a pullback on this one. Doesn't seem bad on the day as it keeps pushing a little bit higher. ZS was also another one we were going to look at to see if it was going to recover some of its losses. Pan W was one way that I was going to keep an eye out on this. You can see the up action there in Pan W. CrowdStrike also to the upside does not look bad at all. So these cybersecurity is having a good one. And what was that other one that I think it was Hub B? Yeah, it was it Hub B or Hub C? What was that cybersecurity, that cheap name that was mentioned earlier? Even I forgot it because it's a brand new stock. Roblox up good here. Yeah, nice little push there, right? Are we going to go long Jim? Long Jim Cramer or short Jim Cramer? What do you guys think? The volume's too low right now. If not, I would take a look at it, team. It's just way too low for me on this one. All right, let's keep going. Hub C was it, not Hub B. Well, it doesn't look too bad. It is pulling back here. It came back towards support. Let's see if it kind of holds here around the 170 and makes a move back towards $2. Of course, this is a brand new name, so you got to be careful with names like this. Looks like it held the next layer of support. You can see it to the left. This was a resistance. The support was right around here around the 161. So in between 161 and kind of 170 is where we started finding some support. Let's see if it comes back for those $2. First Solar continuing the day to the upside, 205. There goes Apple through the 149s, now to 149.25. As this starts to push, look for a nice little next move towards 150. And if we get 150, we could keep driving on the day. I'm going to keep watching the SPY. SPY, I saw it green today. Why? Because I just feel like so many people flipped to the bear side when we cracked this range. We really quickly flipped on them, started squeezing out the shorts yesterday. And then today, if anything, we squeezed some more shorts out from the after hours action. And a lot of the time when people are short and they're seeing the SPY get back above the 400, oh, they're kind of getting scared. The bulls are running to the walls. All right, ISM in 5 minutes will be wild swings. I agree. That's coming in 5 minutes. Keep your eyes on, of course, the 10 a.m. turn. All right, nice little push there in Apple, continuing 149.30s. Going to take a look at Tesla. Remember I talked about maybe a little bit of a pullback to 194. I still haven't gotten that pullback, but it did drive higher towards the 196. Going to keep an eye out on that name. All right, let's keep going. How's the oil names? They're bouncing back a little bit here. So that's interesting to take a look at. Just going to keep an eye out on it. I know that OPEC said that they were going to maybe potentially pump more or something along those lines. I'll take a look there. Oxy bouncing back also. Will it keep the gains or will it just find a little bit of a dip to buy? There's drip back down towards the 1330s, kind of pre-market support. Would have to come back roaring back towards 1380s. Doesn't seem too bad to maybe just play off a tiny risk here for drip to start making its way back. So who knows? I like the outlook here. I'm going to go ahead and take it off kind of 1324s. If I can get it here at 1330s, doesn't look too bad. Let's take a little bit of a smaller trade here. Looking for a little bit of a pullback. All right, let's see if I get this pullback here. All right, just got my first entry there at 1330s. Going to add here on the pullback. Going to hold off that 1320 level. So I'm only risking about 10 cents on this for a reversal style action. And really would like to see this 24 hold. Going to give it 4 cents underneath that to see if we maybe get a wick. But I'm looking for a move back towards 1354. I'll sell majority of it there and see if we can get back to the opening price. I'd also want to see what XOM just start coming back down. Oxy coming back down. So I'll keep an eye out on that. Of course, 10 o'clock is about to hit. So keep your eyes on what could be working there and we'll see what happens. All right. I'm sorry if there was some spamming there, team. I can only look at the chat so much. All right, let's keep going. There's Oxy starting to turn around. Drip. Let's see if we can start making a move above this 1330s back towards the 1350s. We'll find out. Reversal style trade, right? So bottoming action, quick tight risk, looking for a nice expansion move back to the VWAP, and then we'll look to see if it can keep pushing or not. Apple did make a little bit of a move there towards 149.40s. Let's see if it gets to 150 today. 10 o'clock number is about to hit, so keep your eyes out, team. We'll see what happens there. All right, looks like we're at 958, almost there. Sound being brought up. Of course, if AI is going to move, why not maybe Sound or some of those other names, BBAI? You guys can keep your eye on that one. BBAI coming back towards 1330s. Be careful with the 10 o'clock number here, but it doesn't look too bad there for BBAI. How's the AI pullback? Still hasn't pulled back to levels that I'm looking at, which is below that 25.38. But look how you came back towards similar spot and you bounced there. So short-term resistance in there, trying to create some support. I think it gets broken, probably comes back to 25. But if it goes through 26, you might want to be looking at a name like that BABI and BBAI, and then it starts to make that push back towards the 345. We'll see what happens there. Apple now they're continuing to push 149.40s. Drip not looking too bad, starting to make a little bit of an up move there. Got to keep an eye out as the numbers about to hit, and a lot of things going on, team. So you guys see any big movers, throw them up in the chat. Smash the like today if you guys are enjoying how I'm trying to keep up the fast-paced action here. Show the appreciation, team. I truly appreciate it. All right, let's see if we can get this continued drive. Pakar looking great here, team, but I just wanted to start driving as it starts finding the support today. You can see it's back down below the VWAP, but I'm deep into the green on this one, so not going to mess with it here. Just looking for a drive back to 75s. DE now starting to get that next push back. Is Caterpillar finding the bottom? We'll see if that can find the bottom there. Start driving back towards 252. SPY overall starting to pull back there. We'll see what happens if it can continue making the drive. Drip is starting to make the move back. Needed to get to 1350s to take the first profits and then to see if we can run it. There's 1335. See if we can get back there towards that 1350. There's 1340 showing up there. Let you guys know if I get that push. The drip. All right, let's go. Let's get these ISM numbers as they hit. ISM coming in here at 54 versus a 60.4 prior. USA ISM non-manufacturing PMI at 55.1 versus 54.5. Estimate 55.2 prior. Of course, you guys can be getting all this with none other than, of course, Benzinga Pro, of course. You guys know how it works. The only thing is when I changed it to screen, I hate how it kind of ruins it for a second. But hey, either way, you guys see it here. The numbers hitting. ISM non-manufacturing PMI coming in. ISM non-manufacturing employment coming in also. They're a little bit lower than prior. Let's see how the market reacts on this, and let's see how it go ahead and plays out. All right, SPY kind of came down really quickly, just bouncing around. It's kind of like just figuring out the number right now. We could see downside action, though, around 10 a.m., around this 9:57, 9:55. We started getting that downside action. Look to see if you get a bounce off of VWAP for the SPY. And of course, that's going to be affecting the Apple. But look at that, man. It didn't even take a second there. It's up there towards 149.75. 150. We're going to take it all out on Apple. Celebrate the win. See if it can get there. All right, setting an order to take some profits just slightly below that 150. If we can get Apple to get up there. Keeping an eye out on the SPY. SPY just made a hard pullback to the VWAP there. Keep an eye out, team. We could see a little bit of some downside action. Drip trying to hold on here. Just focusing on that one as that's kind of the trade that's closest to the risk. Of course, stop is set for Apple. So if it does come back, we'll get stopped out on break even. Just going to keep working, team. What are you guys seeing out there? Meta ripping? Luke Jacoby in the house. You know it. Sound that alarm. Oh, man. I didn't even got my stream deck on. Come on. How do you not have your stream deck on when Luke Jacoby is joining the stream? Come on, Mitch. All right. Lots going on today. You guys know where you're at. Let's get it. Let's get it. 1 for Luke Jacoby. Sound that alarm. Sound that alarm. Let's get it, team. All right, Apple was a good trade on the day. That just turned around almost to that 150s, back towards 149 really quickly. So just keeping an eye out on the SPY. SPY's coming down fast here. Gonna look to see if we come back down towards the bottom of the range. Of course, we've been talking about how markets play chop, right? So that's gonna be a move towards like 399, 22s, and a bounce there. We'll look to see if we get the bounce. Oxy getting a little bit of a turn down, but now pushing back to the upside. I'll look to see if Drip can hang on here. Definitely don't want to see it cut through the 24s. All right, just keeping a close eye on here for the Drip trade to see if we can bounce back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the 5-minute here. Why? Because I want to see kind of a triple bottom get back up there, right? If it takes it out on the downside, we got to be careful. 1320s really is my risk. It could wick here. That's the next layer of support, right? Right here towards 1320s. We'll look to see if that gets taken out. If that cuts, we're out for a 10-cent loss. Not a bad little trade, especially since we're looking for first profits towards 50s, which would be a nice 20 cents to the upside, and then a move back towards the open around 1370s. That's not looking too bad. That'd be a nice, like, kind of 40-cent move back to the upside for a 10-cent risk. Doesn't seem too bad. All right, let's keep it going, team. What else are you guys looking at there? LAZR, take your money and run. We'll see. We take a little peek there at that LAZR. It looks like we're up there at the $10 and just hanging out there. That still hasn't really pulled back. It's been a strong little move there for LAZR. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see if this can come back through and start pushing back. SPY just holding on right now towards around the 399.80s. Let's see if it recovers 400 here, gets back towards the highs. That will definitely push our Apple through up there towards the 150 where we can take the profits and run. SI, huge knife. Ooh, man. Wasn't it Citadel that just invested in this stock? Why would you invest in Silvergate Capital? Why? Why, team? We've been calling this for a while now. Since November, I've been like, red flag, team. Red flag, SI, coin, MSTR, anything Bitcoin related. I would run for the hills. That's at $4. You saw the mentions yesterday. I don't know how you invest in this, Citadel. Somebody's going to get fired for that one. It ain't going to be me. Ain't going to be me. Yeah, that large stake. Curious decision, right? $22.50. What a deal. Oh, man, that one's a tough one. All right, let's go back to the drip life. Drip, drip. Triple bottom. Some say there's no such thing as a triple bottom. We'll find out if it holds now. Can we get some of these names to start turning around? Some of these oil names to start actually turning around, right? That's what I'm going to be looking at. Let's see, XOM. Can this come back down, or is this going to break through the highs? If they continue to climb, well, it's going to stop me out in the drip trade. We'll find out what happens here. Apple doing? It tried to make the move. SPY right back down towards those 399, and it wicks there around the 399.25 levels. So just be careful out there. We talked about would it come to the low of the range? Yeah, you pretty much did that. Now let's see if we get a bounce here, or do we get a crack right back down? The chop zone continues out there. Be careful, team. Yeah, weekend risk of bankruptcy, that's for sure. Saw plenty of brokerages and the cryptocurrency platforms that were rejecting trades from SI or rejecting kind of the access. Lucky, if you wanted to call this one an awesome short, well, right here. We were talking about it when Kathy bought this thing. Kathy bought SI for a while. That's when she bought SI and coin. I think that was right after the Voyager thing. I was like, come on, Kathy. Like, who in their right mind would have been doing this? We've been talking about this since November. Since November here, since it started breaking down here, we're down out of $5. I don't know what Kathy's thinking sometimes, but hey, that's ARKK for you. Speaking of the which, it is pulling back down. 39.60s here. The omen of the ARK buys, right? I run away when I hear she bought a stock. But this is setting up for a move here, team. Doesn't look too bad. Starting to hold the 39 pullback. Will she get a rip out today? We'll see. It's right back on VWAP. If it can get the bounce back towards 40, of course, this is kind of more of your kind of growth names, right? Roblox having a nice move today. Snow bouncing back after getting hit yesterday. Keep your eyes on names like that. Zooming. Are we going to get a push? I got hit on this one earlier in the week. Roku, how's the Roku name? 6412's pulling back. Roku's been strong as of late. Will it get another lift? We'll see. All right, SPY overall, just keep battling around the 30.99 now bouncing back to 3.99 Wouldn't you know it? The chop, the chop, the chop. AI breaking down the 25 below VWAP. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that name. I'm going to go to the 6 charts here. LAZR in the top left. Drip to the top right. SPY in the middle. I'm going to do Apple on the bottom middle here. Bottom right, let's go ahead and let's do that AI chart. Looks like it switched it there. I'll just put Apple on this bottom one right here. So AI is pulling back here. I've talked about how I wanted to get this pullback towards 25. It actually looks good there off the 25. I'm going to let it come and test one more time to 24.90s and then look for a turnaround at that 25. So if it can come back and test one more time to the downside, I'm going to look for what we call a reversal style candle here, or a bullish engulfing candle that comes back up through these highs, the 25.33. It did come down really fast, so just be careful there. Always understand your risk on a name like this. DM back at VWAP if you're taking a look at a name like that. We went to 25 right on the dot, bounced up here, so I'm still looking for a little bit of an attempt to this kind of 24.90s. But we are starting to come back. It looks good there. Kind of like it, to tell you the truth. Let me see if I can get a slight little pullback here. I don't want to chase to 25.30s because I want to risk off that 25. So the closer I can get there, the 26 makes sense. But I like this AI like back towards 25. Talked about that earlier. Missed it when it came back to the VWAP. Now it's already jumping there to 25.38. I can't chase here at the 25.40s. Just doesn't make sense on risk to reward wise now. So I just got to more than likely let it go. Sometimes you're going to miss some. Sometimes you're going to get them. I was definitely looking at that one, but it's already there to 45s. I need it back down right below the VWAP, like maybe 25.20s. I can risk off to 25. I just don't want to risk about 40 cents on the name. LAZR bouncing off the VWAP. That doesn't look too bad. Drip, not doing the best. Just hanging in there. So below that 24s, we're just going to get out. It's just too long. Should have already taken off. And I'm literally just down about a penny on the name. It's not doing anything here. So just going to keep it really tight towards that low of the day on drip, which is literally the 24. And if it cracks 24, we're out. All right, let's keep looking around. How's Apple doing? Apple pushing back to the upside. Will we get that 150 exit on Apple? Looking for it, team. We'll find out. Cat looks weak. King Zoo. Well, it's pulling back, right? Take a look at the hourly. It's going back towards prior resistance, trying to find support around the 249.81s. Could bounce off of these levels here. And you can see how we're right towards that level. And the intraday, I do agree it's weak, but on the hourly, it's still strong. We'll see if it holds. Apple. They say an apple keeps the doctor away, right? An apple a day. Well, let me see if I get my apple today. You guys know I like my cereal trade. Trying to get the apple. It's funny, I just got a S23, but you guys know I'm not a big Apple fan. Let's go, 49.70s. Can we get to the 50 there? The SPY coming back. Can it get to 400? SPY, I spy with my little eyes. Can you get to 400? AI back above 25.50s. Tesla? Did we get back to 194? Didn't get there. 195 pull back. Still looking strong though. It didn't even come to the VWAP. The 149.85, looking for the win there in Apple. There's a 400 on the SPY. Should get a nice little pop here to get filled into. We'll look to see if we get it. Bonk, 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 bonk. Let's go, let's go. Come on. I'm feeling it. Can we get it? Come on, come on.
A few moments later.
Will we get it? Will we get it? Looking for that last little pop there. There's the 90s. Let's go. Let's go. There we go, baby. Got some more there in Apple. Not mad at all there, team. Let's go ahead. Let's work it. Still got a last little piece there. Going to look to see if we can push above this 150 and then take the remaining off on the expansion move there. Not a bad move there on Apple. And just to mention, drip, I'm out of the drip. Took a small little hit there on the pullback there. It's not always all going to be in the green, but look at that AI. Nice little move back to 25.77s. 150s showing up here on Apple. 150.16s. Can we push a little bit higher as the SPY starts to push? I'll look for Apple to do the same. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Apple, a little bit more. If not, I'll take you all out here. All right, a little slow up here. Looking to see if we could get it above there, but if not, just going to take the money and run. Oh, look at that AI. Look at that expansion. Oh, man, that 25 would have been a nice one. Back to 26.30s. It's a tough one. It's one that I'll definitely say I missed there, but I had nice levels. Hope someone was able to tackle that on that AI pullback to the VWAP. 3 attempts to break down VWAP, reversal sign, then you look for that expansion move. That's what I got there for AI, and that's on the 1 for AI. All right, seeing Apple slow up here. I'm going to take the money and run. Boom, baby. I'm out. I'm out. I'll take the 150 and run. Take it. And sometimes you got to take it and run, baby.
Boom,
shakalaka. Let's go. Let's go. Not a bad one there today. That's what we call a little bit of some don't. I got you, team. I'm going to slow my trading down and help you guys out there. We'll take a look at what's going on. Like always, I can't make trading decisions for you guys, but I can definitely take a look at some levels, see what's popping off on the day. Let's find out. All right, well, I made my trade there on Apple today. Not a bad one from, of course, we got in there right off the VWAP, slightly below, of course, the 148, getting out there towards the 150. Not a bad little move there in Apple today. AI tried to take through that high, now pulling back slightly below the high in the intraday, went to 26.34's recent push went to 26.45. So let's see if that can keep pushing. Nice little move there in AI off of that pullback. Boom, right back to the upside. AXON caught the dip at 215. Oh, look at Amazon. Oh, man, I didn't even mean to put that in. Look at that push. That's making me feel bullish about the SPY. SPY's pushing. I felt like we could push today. It's not looking too bad on the day. All right, how's AU doing? That's still hanging in there, still pushing a little gold trade out there. Pakar, let's see if we can start pushing now. Cat, find the bottom there. We'll see. Deer, come on, man. Got to lead, Deer. MOS on the pullback. NTR. Of course, this was one that we sold yesterday. I'm kind of happy I sold into the move, right? It's a big push. Could look for pullbacks to 80 on this one to add. That's what's going to get me back into this name. If it can get back below kind of the 80-50s, I'll start paying attention for like an 80 entrance. But it already ran. I don't mind selling the rips, buying the dips. Selling the rips, buying the dips. That's what I'm going to be trying to do a lot more of, especially in this market. The damn choppy stocks is right, Wisdom. We got to keep that in mind and be careful out there. Smash the like, team. If you guys aren't liking this, I mean, I don't know where else you guys are getting this kind of action out there. So definitely smash the like. We'll keep going right here on Benzinga. All right, been killing it. Let's go. All right, let's go back to the SPY. SPY now pulling back a little bit. Apple pulling back a little bit to 149.78. So glad I took a little bit of profits into the move, right? Seems like this is that type of market where you can't hold on for too much. We got to like kind of take some profits, pay ourselves. There's nothing wrong with it, right? All right, let's take a look at to see if anything else is going to start to make a move here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my main charts and start taking a look at the sectors and the rotation. Look how drip might have stopped me out right there, close towards that first risk, which was 1320s. Eventually, I moved it up towards 1324. Got stopped out through it, but it did do a little bit of a bounce there. I'll keep an eye out to see if XOM starts pulling back significantly, and so does Oxy, names like that. Technology is leading, energy right behind that, so look to see if energy can pull back down. And of course, we're looking at from the open. Why do I look from the open? Because overall, energy is actually slightly down on the day, but from the open, it's the second leading sector. I think it's very important to catch things like that. All right. Oops, just lost 5K and you're playing money. Hey, wisdom. It's how it is sometimes, man. Just shake it off, baby. Shake it. There is no live trading as yours. Well, the key is I don't think there's really truly a supporting community out there. Like, I've seen so many chat rooms. I've been in them. Trust me. I know about them, right? And what do you see a lot on these rooms? Competition between each trader, right? People comparing themselves. Like, I don't compare myself to you guys in the chat. Like, if you guys make a killer trade, let's say even against my trade, I'm not going to go and look at you guys any negative way for that. We're all here trying to trade. We're not here trying to copy. We're trying to make decisions and improve on our skills. Because, of course, Benzinga is the place. If you want to grow, the number one place is right here, Benzinga, especially on your financial journey. All right, let's get back to the action. Let's take a look. What else is going on? All right, energy is pulling back there. I'm looking at some cyclical names. Of course, when we see cyclical at the top, what does that tell us? That tells us a lot about the high beta names. What do we mean by high beta? The stocks that move when the market moves, right? It could be to the downside. It could be to the upside, but they move. So keep your eyes on names like that. Auto manufacturers, special retailers. Of course, we saw Amazon kind of pushing there, right? That's kind of the leader in specialty retail. You're seeing Baba down today, PDD actually pushing strong. So that's a little bit of a against trade there. Ulta, of course, Ulta's such a freaking monster. Oh my God, this stock. It makes me shake my head. I always wish that I had a little piece of Ulta back in like 400s. This is just a beautiful, beautiful run company. I mean, look at the monthly chart. Expansion since December. And this was a stock that we were looking in December for that kind of December Santa Claus effect. It definitely had one and hasn't turned around. All right, eBay even getting a little bit of a lift today. And I don't trade eBay ever, but it does look like it's trying to fill some of this gap to the upside. I don't know if you guys like eBay, but it is trying to make a move back. We'll see what happens there. All right, Best Buy. Oh, man, I'm staying away from you. You're going on my no trade list, Best Buy. I don't want you no more. Race. Ooh, Ferrari, man. Racing to the top. One thing that I'd say about this is look how simple this pattern was. Nice and clean on the supports. And then just reclaims. Charts like this, we got to keep an eye out for. All right, Tesla will either kick you ass or make you a boat. That's the truth, Stacy. That is the truth. Can't blame me for that outlook. It's not bad when the green pops, right? I would agree too. On Tesla, it's difficult to trade. One thing that I do on Tesla that helps me is a lot of the times on Tesla, I'll even come at it. I've come at it at 1 share a time, and I've come at it at 2 shares a time. Every time that I grab Tesla, let's say at 10 shares at a time, I always have a tendency of getting ripped. So I really try to work on my average on Tesla because sometimes the spread and the range can be wide, right? And even in between like this 5-minute candle, you got about $1. So where you're in that buck is going to make a big difference, right? Are you in at the bottom? Are you in at the top? All right, let's keep going, team. Pinterest being mentioned. Nice mention there. Nice little pop now going towards 26. Whenever I see Pinterest strong, what will I look at? I'll look at Snap. Snap could still get that nice move right now. Let's see if we can get the 1030 pullback. I'll jump in it on Snap based off the sympathy relationship style trade. Of course, the support is actually down closer towards the 1023s, but you're getting that up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback and then the drive higher. Let's see if we can get that pullback in the Snapchat with Pinterest pushing higher. Relationship style trading. AI is still looking good. Yeah, I'm a little bit kicking myself a little bit later that I didn't get that 25. But like always, we can't pay attention to all the styles of trades. That was a really nice pullback to 25. Hope someone was able to nail that outlook. All right, just keeping an eye out to see what is being called out there. I do see some kind of Russian mention here. So looks like the U.S. imposing sanctions on Russia under provisions targeting human rights, abuse, and corruption. Definitely not what we want to see there. I did see a tweet about the deficit, but I don't even pay attention to that talk. I really don't pay attention to that talk. I think it's just talk. Apple continuing, trying to get through that 150. So looks like the bullish upside today. Not a bad outlook. We're pushing towards 401. Held the pullback towards 399.22s. Now pushing a little bit higher. Microsoft was on the top watch today. Look at that nice little move. Google's 90. Holding strong, almost towards 94. We're definitely getting these big boys to move back up to the upside, right? Well, when the big boys move, the market can move too. Not a bad day today, definitely in technology leading. Energy continuing to push, so glad I got out of that trade on the drip. XOM continuing to push a little bit higher. And these consumer cyclical names could be pushing here. ARKK looked good off the VWAP earlier. It's bounced up there towards 40s. And if you want to take a look at some of these names, Shop, remember we were looking at the 40. Oh, that's turned around there from that 40. Keep your eyes on names like that. Roblox, getting a nice little lift back to the upside. Remember yesterday, I got in Roblox and I got stopped out right here, team. Right here at the 86, right there before it just cracked. It went down there towards like 77 and then came all the way back here to 41. That's how easy you can get caught on a small little loss. I talk about my losses too, team. You know, it is what it is, right? I'm going to have losses. I'll talk about them again, and we can learn from those mistakes, right? Maybe I didn't give myself enough room there in Roblox yesterday because this would have been a nice 10% winner into the swing today. All right, let's keep looking. Jay Rice bringing a nice information about the VIX back under 19. That's definitely important to notice. And when the VIX is at extremes, a lot of the times stocks can move together on the highs. And when it's back down like that, going to the extreme lows, you could get the SPY to move higher and higher. As, of course, I've talked about the golden cross on the SPY, right? And one thing I talked about the golden cross is that a lot of the times you get a decline on the golden cross before you get the next rip. I talked about this on pre-market prep at the end of the show. I'll give you guys the image that I want to talk about there. I'm going to just take a quick second here to give you guys an outlook on golden crosses. So a lot of times what we do is we see the stage one, which is a downtrend. That's when we were downtrending on the market, right? We were looking very negative towards the market. Then we got that stage two. Stage two is where we got that SPY cross, right? That's going to be the cross right here, right? Where you see the 200-day cross through and the 50-day cross upward through that 200-day. And a lot of the times what you do is you see this kind of action where you got a big price action before that stage two that got you to the cross. Then you get a big pullback and you get into the stage three, which could be a bigger uptrend. I know that I've been bearish on the markets long term, but I'll tell you right now, in the short term, until CPI, I think we could start riding a little bit higher. But like always, you guys choose your own investment decisions. All right, let's get back to the action. SPY still pushing now towards 401. Got up there to 401.39s. Apple looking like it wants to take out the 150s. I'm all out of that one, so I can't jump into there. But I'm going to look at some other trades to see if they can keep pushing. Deer, we talked about the 420s being so important for Deer. Nice little morning takedown towards 419.75, but you're already up there to 425. So that makes me feel a little bit more confident in even Picard and Cat to reverse. So keep your eyes on names like that. And I could look at maybe like an ITW. How's GE doing? Still staying strong. I like Honeywell if GE can still stay strong. It is pulling back right now today. might take a look at this Honeywell today. I don't trade Honeywell often. I think I've only traded it once in my life, but I'm going to keep an eye out on that one. And just to mention a stock that did get hit as of late and making it right back, Boeing, back to the 211s. AAL, American Airlines, my swing on yesterday. We'll look to see if this can actually start driving back to 1650s and get it back up there. JetBlue was another one that I wanted to think about because I like the daily chart. I like how I could risk maybe off the 8, looking for a move back towards 9, but we're already up there to the 830s. So this is one that I was looking at yesterday when it was at 817s, 815s. Still looking good, JetBlue. Woo, it's been that type of day, 10:30, and I feel like I've already had like 3 hours of trading, but definitely smash it up, team. All right, I can, normally I put on music too. I don't even want to open up Edge today, but I do have some music in the background that I can just add here. You guys let me know how the volume is. If it's too loud, yeah. All right, let's keep it going, team. SPY with my little eyes up there to 401. Got up there to 401.39. We're going to look to see if we can continue pushing here, pushing a little bit higher. Leading stocks in the S&P 500. Let's take a look at that. ALGN. I saw that one mentioned in the chat. There's a reason why. Can't blame you guys. All right, ALGN Align Tech here, pushing higher to 325. Moderna having a hell of a day. Nice little VWAP bounce off the 141. Nice little push there, 3% higher. Ford going higher. I talked about with Ford. You just look at Tesla, man. Tesla's going to give us so much on Ford. I know that some people don't look at that, but look at this action, team. I'm going to go through the daily on Ford, and I'm going to go through the daily on like kind of Tesla's action. And when Ford is down near the lows, when Ford was really breaking, look what was happening to Tesla. The yellow line will tell you, look at that. It was down there. When Tesla started coming back, look how Ford started coming back. And then Tesla's having a good day today. Look how Ford's having a good day. This is how relationship trading can be, team. Keep your eyes on relationship trading. It can truly help you find some edge. All right, getting out of that, let's get back to the market. Ford definitely having a good day there. Dish even having a good day there. I wouldn't be trading Dish, but something to mention, right? Energy name bouncing back today, CTRA. Keep your eyes on that one. EQT, kind of more of that natural gas type of play. If you want an energy EQT play, this one actually looks interesting. I'm not going to lie. I actually like this outlook here. It would need to pull back here closer towards like 1370s and 1350s for entries for me on a swing. Doesn't look too bad there on EQT if I wanted to play some energy to the upside. I'm going to leave it alone right now, but something to watch. Meta with a big breakout today, so keep your eyes on Meta. That's pushing stronger. And that LAZR that we talked about earlier, what a nice move today. Got up there towards a high of 1032s. We talked about this one. That was about a 12.75% move there. Apple finally through the 150s, trying to hold it on pullbacks. We'll see if the SPY plays a little chop here or goes to 402. I hate to say it, but F has nothing to do with how Tesla trades. Jay Rice, well then why did the chart say differently? I mean, the chart says it all. You saw the picture there. Tell me why it's different. I feel you always have DMX rolling in your head. You know it, Wisdom. Let's go. All right, let's keep it going. Is oil energy scared of Tesla moving as an innovating energy industry competition? I highly doubt that one right now, Pharaoh's Towers, but it's definitely something to think about, right? Was Tesla down 5% yesterday? F was down. Was F down 5% yesterday? Tesla was down 5%. Well, take a look. one thing that I take a look at, right, is that what did you get yesterday? You didn't get really an up day. You got that kind of in-between day yesterday there in Thursday action there. You got a recovery, right, from forward. It was coming down beforehand. I think we got to look at correlation. I'm going to look at a correlation chart in a second. I'll bring it to you. No worries. All right, let's take a look there. SPY trying to get there. We'll look at the 402s. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep it going. I'm going to go ahead and I'll get that for you. I'm just taking a look here. All right, let's look for the correlation there between those. What's going on out there, team? How we doing? Can the SPY keep going? We'll see. Drippy drip. Now starting to turn around there. SPY is starting to weaken up a little bit. Might do a little bit of that chop move. Be careful out there, team. All right, let's see if I could get this done. F, Tesla, and let's add GM for the hell of it, right? And we'll do a 1 year. Plot. All right, 1 year. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to work this out so I can give you guys the correlation, but I'll do this later. It's not a big deal right now. All right, I'll take a look at it. Like always, you guys can look at some correlation kind of tools to kind of look into that. Big resistance on Oxy to 60.50. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's going right now to it, Talib. We'll see if it gets through that level. 15 minutes has a couple touches in there. Let's see if we can get through there. To the left, you can see it as resistance as of yesterday too. See if we get through that 60.50 there for Oxy. Charge point. All right, charge point. Oh, on the charge on, man. This is one I wanted to talk about in pre-market prep, but didn't get a chance to do it. It's back up there. It made up all the losses, team. Look at that. This is where we closed yesterday. Look where we're back. We were down there in the pre-market to 925, all the way back to 1128, and now starting to turn around a little bit from it. Could pull back to the VWAP. We'll see what happens on there, but definitely a turnaround there for charge point. BLDR. Winner. Where was that one mentioned? I wonder where BLDR was mentioned. And of course, start swing trading. My man Christian Fromhertz on Tuesday. That would be this day right here. Look where it's gone since then. 3 days straight up. You might want to check out Start Swing Trading. Easy is also a good resource, but definitely Start Swing Trading. Killed it out the water there with this call on BLDR. We talked about that. We talked about steel with Christian Fromhertz. He looked at like steel dynamics. Look at that little push since then. Look at since Tuesday, where we've been. Guys, got to check out the Start Swing Trading. There's some good swing traders on there. That's a nice move there. Steel dynamics. All right, let's keep going. That's one of Kramer's charge point. Oh, man. Why you got to say things like that, JG? Why you got to make me run away from charge point? Telling me it's one of Kramer's favorites. Come on. Don't make me run away. We'll see what happens there. How's the S Gym today? Ooh, not looking bueno. Looks like we got to be long Jim today. Jim Cramer ETF. Who's planning on trading that Jim Cramer ETF? I'm going to wait a little bit till like it balances out, but it's interesting. The chop continuing, SPY pulling back a little bit here. We'll see what happens there. All right, we got about 20 minutes left till we get you guys over to All Access. It's been a hell of a day for me, so I'm going to take a quick second here, play you guys a Benzinga Pro trailer. We'll be right back, team. Don't go anywhere and smash the like.
Breaking news.
U.S. Treasuries.
In the case of nuclear or radiological fallout, people living around potential threats.
RTW retail wins hitting a high of 45 cents. Seeing some chat room mention on RTW retail wins. Coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, the federal budget balance for January. Earnings after the close today from EFX, Equifax, MGM Resorts, NTAP NetApp, and U.S. Nu Skin, PS Pluralsight, TRIP, TripAdvisor reporting after the close.
All right, back team, just taking a look at the market. We are pulling back here. SPY right now at 484. Let's go to the Qs. Qs at 297. Looks like we got a little bit of a push back. The markets look strong on the day. Going to take a look at some of the tech stocks, NVIDIA, AMD pulling back the VWAP. We'll see what happens now. Do we just play the chop back to the downside? That's where you got to be careful because there's been so many chop moves in this market that we could just chop right back. We could pull back here, maybe 400, bounce off of that level. So you could see the back and forth action. Let's go to a big stock on the day. Of course, AI. We were looking at 25 for pullbacks. That's been an absolute beast since 25. It did a $1.50 move. Definitely missed that one. So we'll see what happens if we can push through 2650s and keep climbing the AI chart. Sound also on the radar, BBAI. Let's see if this one starts catching a bounce now from around 315, maybe back towards 335s. Doesn't look like a bad outlook. If you're holding off kind of the morning action went to 297. So pretty much $3, got the little bit of a bounce, trying to come back. The volume's a little bit low in this one. I would want to see the volume coming back, but we'll see what happens there as you are losing a little bit of volume on that name. Picard starting to catch the bounce, so feeling good about that. Cat catching the bounce. We talked about that level to watch. Let me show you guys those charts. We talked about 249.81, looking like if that would hold, and that's off the hourly resistance from yesterday, now becoming support. I'm going to look for it to come back to the hourly range of 253 to the upside to show us strength. DE leading the way. We talked about this yesterday. Very important to see if Deere was going to lead the way after a good report, pull back towards the 9, or you could look at the 20 EMA and now really starting to curve back to the upside. This doesn't look bad at all for also playing maybe like XLI. As you start seeing this to come back, this could start pushing. Of course, XLI moves slower than a name like Deere or some Caterpillar or Picard. We'll see what happens on those. MOS, how's that doing on the day? That's still staying strong. Man, that's impressive. Mosaic Company, agricultural input. All right. Catching up with the chat. Give me a second here. I got some comments. All right. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what else is going on. Sorry about that, team. Dealing with a million different things. Trying to do my best today. Produce, trade, talk about golden crosses, do research, look at the top movers on the day. Of course, bring in economic data that hits. We do it all right here on Benzinga. So I hope you guys are enjoying the stream today. Smash the like. I really don't think anybody handles as much as I can do on like the stream. I don't think there's anybody in the world that can handle as much as I do. But that's just because I try to be the best at what I do, team. Hope you guys enjoy that. Oil went green. Woo-hoo. What a trick. What a trick this morning. Right back to the upside there. XOM. Oxy. Let's see if it gets through that 60-50. It could be a scalp level. Not my type of scalp level, but we'll see. HYG. High yield corporate bonds ETF. I mean, this is just going to kind of move right with like the TLT. And the TLT has kind of been really connected with the market as of late when the market has a tendency. But we'll see if this can kind of push right back up there towards the upside. TLT, HYG, of course, bonds usually bottom first. So it doesn't look too bad for this to be the bottom. But if we crack through here, let's say like 72s, you got to really be careful with that HYG. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going. Looks like I got someone joining in the back. I'll let you guys know when he's ready. He's going to be joining us up and doing all access for us coming up. All right. Looks like we got Zunaid in the back, team. So let me go ahead and start bringing him on here. You guys say hello. My man's back. Like a track.
Going on, Mitch?
What up, man? How we doing?
Good. Well, hey, props to you. I didn't know Ryan was out, but you're handling everything. You've got the stream,
Always,
you've got
bro.
the production,
No
you got
stress,
it all, my
no
man.
stress, man. No stress. The only thing we can do is try to trade our trade, right? Process in, process out. Today's top trade was Apple out the gates. I don't know if you caught that type of trade or been trading it overall, but nice little move there towards 150. We got that off the VWAP bounce, so we'll see what happens on that. Still got a couple of swing trades. Lost a little bit on the drip life as oil was kind of playing this little game this morning. Took a little bit of a hit this morning, now recovering. So we'll see what happens there in oil. How do you feel about the overall market lately, man?
I mean, I am a little surprised to see it back over 400, but if we here, let me go ahead and go to the day. I think I've got my charts up here.
Charts? Zunaid charts. Smash the likes. Let's go.
Let's see what we've got here. So you can see we've kind of been range bound right here for a few days, right? So I mean, we haven't really made any explosive moves, so we got to get over this kind of 403? Yeah, 403 area to kind of get us going to the top. Matter of fact, I'd even say all the way up to about 404, 405, and then we can kind of make that move. You can see how it was support, and then it was resistance. So we got to get over this part of the chart area there, about 404, 405, and then make a move towards 410s. Then we can see what it wants to do. But if we can go ahead and also then break this area here, about 393 or so, then you see a bit more downside movement. So we've just kind of been chopping around left and right, up and down, nothing too crazy. So we'll see how we'll see how things play out. But Tesla's been like a fun one, just with all the moves that it made a couple of days ago with the investor day. Then it came right back up. But give me a sec, I just got a Slack, so I'll be right back.
No stress. Hop back. I'll be right here looking at the market. All right, let's see what happens. Will we get back towards the 402s? Looks like we didn't even come back to the VWAP this time. Seems to me like we're trending to the upside today. And I'm just going to keep looking at that. If we break 400, that's where I'd be a little bit concerned on intraday action. But seems to me like we just keep doing a little bit of an uptick. Microsoft is definitely one that it keeps kind of holding on. Google, look at that, man. All that 90, I'm going to be kicking myself for a little while on that Google 90. Definitely held it multiple days in a row. Now back towards 93.76. We'll see what happens there. Can Tesla make the next move up towards the 200? That's what I'll be looking for. If it can reclaim 200, all those people that got short yesterday are going to be feeling it a little bit. So we'll look to see if that can kind of just reclaim it back there. And then to see if it actually pushes back towards like the 220s. This is why I say when you're trading Tesla, you got to be quick to the gun. You could easily get run over in a trade like Tesla. All right, keeping an eye out on American Airlines to see if I can finally get that push on the day. You can see we're starting to get back above the VWAP. So let's see if I can get this push towards 1650s, take some profit there, and then let this continue to work. Of course, I got this at 1586 yesterday. Hasn't gotten to that spot today, only on the low on the intraday is 1614. Let's see if we can swing this up a little bit higher. American Airlines, I know I need a flight. I'm looking right now at American Airlines and United. So, man, flights are not going down in pricing by one single dollar, it feels like. Feels like they're just trying to get every single nickel and dime. They got it from us out of the pandemic. They're going to keep getting it from us. I know Zunaid flies a lot. He knows all the expenses.
And I'm trying to get some Delta status. It's tough out there. I'm not going to lie to you.
It is tough, man. That's for sure. All right, let's keep going. Kindred Duke. Oh, my God. Zunaid's here. Awesome.
Yeah, and, I need that break. We'll talk about that later on, but I'll be back, on the 6th when the markets are open again. So We
There you
should get
go.
rocking and rolling. Appreciate the break. It was a nice little breather, but
Yeah.
we should be good to
Sometimes
go.
it's good. Sometimes it's great to have a breather, man. And sometimes it's great to like even just take a couple of days off from the market and then come back and like reassess, right? Because
sure.
sometimes you can get too stuck on the short term and not looking long term, right? I think that's one thing that I definitely have been trying to keep in mind, right? Short term, medium term, and long term outlook. This is how I think we need to be always approaching the market, because in the long term, it could be very different than what makes sense in the short term. For me, what makes sense in the short term is actually a drive back towards like 407, 410s. Doesn't mean that we're going to get to 420s, but I think before CPI, there's not much that can really kind of take us down in my eyes. So I'm really looking for a little bit of up action. Manufacturing data, we talked about it a little bit earlier. If you rewind, you'll see it. We brought it up with, of course, none other than Benzinga Pro, but non-manufacturing employment 54 versus 60.4 prior. USA ISM non-manufacturing PMI for February at 55.1 versus 54.5 estimate. Prior was 55.2, so not looking too bad there. Slightly down off the estimate, but I don't think it really moved the markets much today. We did get a little bit of a downtick, but it was really quickly recovered back through that 400. So that's why I'm watching that 400 today to see if we can hold the uptrend.
Of course, for those of you that are wondering, we will have all access starting at about 11, so at about 10 minutes.
Boom, boom. Going to be switching over. And you guys know I definitely need a break. Holy moly. I'm going to maybe lose my voice today. But guess what? Of course, I got to start swing trading later, so we'll get it back.
Well, what time is that?
3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. You're always welcome to come in, my friend. The door is open to you.
Swing trading, man. That's haven't done that in a minute. And
We've
by
been
minute, I
killing
mean
it,
a year and a
man.
half.
Killing it. We have some really good traders that join, man. Like Christian Fromhertz called out a couple of those. Man, BLDR, that was one that we talked about on that show. Look at that continued trend. I mean, it's very important to try to find traders that trade similar to you. I can tell you guys, I really love watching Christian, because I would say that if all the traders I look around, he trades similar. Now, he trend follows a little bit, probably even more than I do. Sometimes I'm trying to buy off support. But one thing that he does really well is keep up with the relative strength, which is really what I like to focus on. And I'm looking at what sectors and industries, what's doing well, where is it doing well. Like solar has been hot as of late. Of course, FSLR taking that big push. We were looking at maybe SEDG for a push back towards 330s today. So it doesn't look too bad on that one. If I could get this one back towards 330s, doesn't look too bad on Solar Edge. ENPH is another one we can think about. Or maybe earlier was mentioned SPWR. Just get an alert, though, on CF. Do want to take a swing on CF today. So I'm going to take a little bit of a starter here. Very small position to start. Been looking for this one for a while now. Now it's starting to make the move. And of course, MOS is the main player here. But I've been looking for CF for a while. And the big thing for me is the daily level starting to break. So now you're in this sideways consolidation. I've been waiting to see if we can break out of this. I'm going to start a starter here. Can add down towards 86. Risk off the 85 here for CF Industries. And of course, NTR was one that I was in this, looking for pullbacks to 80, but that didn't get back there far enough for me to swing a little more.
Couple of things on Walmart here. If you want to put I got
you. You're up.
You've got Walmart. Someone asked about that earlier. If we go and just take a look left for the past couple of days, you can see 139.51 has held as support right over here. So if you're looking to go short, you want that area to break. If you're trying to go long, to me, I do not have the best read on it. I would say the break of about 141 on this side here. You could try to take this one to the upside. But a better read for me is to the downside of this 139.50. Matter of fact, if we continue going left, you can see that on the 24th of Feb, you also have that as support. So support. If that one cracks, you definitely should see some downside movement, possibly all the way to about the 138s or so on Walmart. Someone talked about AI. Again, if you take a look left, you had the pre-market highs on AI right there. That was resistance earlier today. We broke it. We retested it. And now we're going to the upside. So that's a nice little point that you had on AI. Where it goes from there, I'm not quite sure. We've played it quite a bit here. You can see I've got alerts set from days past when we've traded it. But you always kind of want to look left to figure out what you think it's going to do when you go right. Taking a look at Apple, short this one here myself, about 150. So look, 150, we know, hold number, resistance, right? All that good stuff. Here it goes, popping to the upside. Could not sustain it. So I did go ahead and go long on the break of 150 on the 15-minute candle. I did go ahead and take a loss, and then I went short, as you can see, scalp someone to hit that 150. And now we're a bit in the money, looking to see if it'll visit 149.15s or not. So you always kind of want to pay attention, look left, whole numbers, all that are the good stuff. And then you've got, what do you call it, Microsoft here as it broke 250. Nice little move to the upside. Never really tested it today, though. Just continued going higher and higher.
AI new highs was mentioned a little while ago. It did crack through there and then pulled back. So just be careful, team. I'm starting to see some bigger wicks to the upside on AI. And what does that show me? A little bit of selling pressure on the rips. So people probably just running towards profits. I can't blame them for that, right? If they're running towards profits on a move like AI. So just be careful there. You've seen some higher wicks. Let's see if it takes out 27 next time. It went to 26.97 and just pulled back. So there could have been some sellers waiting there at 27. Just look for see if maybe you see a wall on the level 2 or the deeper books. This is why I definitely think it's important to get access to what? To the books. If you can get access to ARCA books, you can get access to NASDAQ books. Full depth is what you're looking for. And that's going to give you the sign to see the full book, right? There could be someone just hiding right there at 26.97 towards 27, trying to get out on some AI. All right, just keeping an eye out on the market. It's starting to do that pullback chop type of play, right? So I'm going to see what happens if we come back towards 400. Really the move back up to continue is the 402 continuation back towards the upside. We'll see what happens on the market. It is pushing, but we could just hold towards the old prior kind of resistance, right? You can see it here around the 401.81s. Are we going to hold towards that level? Or are we going to get through 402 today and start closing on the upside of this resistance? Of course, we have some resistance here towards the 401.33s. And if you look where we're going to stop at right now, we're at the 401.50s. See if we can get that run towards 402 today. NASDAQ book. Yeah, just look into it. When you research it, you'll find more about what I'm talking about. It's a little bit more of an explanation to get into. I'll try to talk a little bit more about that, Shelly, on the next show. All right, it's about 10:56. I'm going to start wrapping up, team. I'm just going to keep going with some of my swing trades out there. You guys saw me take another one here live for you guys. CF nailed that Apple trade today. Took a little bit of a hit there on the drip. Going to keep battling on the market. We'll look to see if we get back there to the 402s, but that's going to do it for my charting action. Going to switch you guys all over to the All Access show. You don't got to go anywhere. You could stick around right here, right? You don't got to go anywhere, team. We're going to get you guys over to All Access. That's going to be starting up soon enough, team. And then I'll let AT take control in the back. You have it all, my friend. I'll see you next time, Zunaid. Can't wait for you to be back, my friend.
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday, inshallah. But good. Appreciate you holding it down. Let's go ahead and quickly just take a look at a couple of things, and then we'll move on to the next part of the show here while AT gets everything ready in the background, waiting for him to give me the heads up, whether that's in my ear or in Slack. It's always interesting when you hear voices in your ear, but you don't actually see the person. But that's the role of the producer, it looks like. But give me 1 second here. All right. If anyone has any questions in the chat, make sure you guys let us know. Marilyn, you let me know when you're ready. You can just give me a thumbs up, and then I can get my shindig ready. All righty. Well, chat, what's up? It's been a minute. We have missed you. I have missed y'all. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks, and I love to come back and do these interviews as it gives me a chance not just to engage with y'all, but also to go ahead and get questions asked directly to the executives and the CEOs and the founders so that we can know what's going on in the company, and that we don't have to read an article to figure things out. You can just have a conversation directly with them. So make sure you guys participate in the chat. Would love to see what you guys want to hear about, what you guys want to talk about. But today we're going to be talking to Marilyn Schaffer, who is the founder and CEO of XTMIF. A lot of interesting stuff here. They have they're based in Miami and Toronto as well, in the financial stuff and the financial world as well in terms of payments. So we'll talk about that. So without any other further ado, let me go ahead and bring up Marilyn Schaffer. How's it going, Marilyn?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Apologies. I forgot the N at the beginning of that. My apologies there. But how you doing this morning?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Really looking forward to this interview. I've got a chance to check out a couple of the things that I saw on the internet, your previous interviews and all that good stuff. But before we dive into the things, especially the press release you had earlier, if you could please explain it to me like I'm five, what is it that your company does?
So we pay people the same day they work, and we started with hospitality, and then we've moved out into other verticals of late. But that was the idea, was could we inspire workers to work more and be more excited about working by, number one, paying them the same day. So gratuities and earnings and on demand via an app and a MasterCard.
I love that. Yeah, people definitely want to get, it's sometimes annoying when you see, like, I get an email that says, hey, so-and-so sent you payment, but you're not going to get it till XYZ. And it's like, okay, I want that payment ASAP. So totally understand on that. Now you had a big PR that was dropped recently, today, actually, I believe, where you signed a deal with Payfair to roll out its Today financial program with earned wage access across the United States. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. So, we took Canada by storm. We, set out with an MVP, proved our concept there. We dominate this country. And if you think about Canada as maybe the state of California in terms of population, the exciting thing about the Payfair deal is that we are now unencumbered to be able to move through the US. It's a complex business. There's a real barrier of entry when you come into a new country. There's compliance and banking and all kinds of governance issues. But through Payfair, we are now free to move quickly and to really scale our business. And if you think about the US, it's 10 times the size of Canada. So we're really excited about the scale.
Yeah, it definitely should be interesting, especially when you talk about market share, things like that, which we'll get to in a minute. But if you can, tell me how your business model works, right? So you're paying people, you're making sure, they get taken care of, but like, how are you taking care of yourself? How's the business model there?
Oh, that's a good question. So we're B2B. So we approach QSRs, quick service restaurants, fine dining restaurants, wherever we've got some critical mass. We don't usually go after the independents, but wherever we can get some critical mass, we talk to those clients. We either integrate through their point of sale, or we create a portal for them. They start paying their employees instantly via our platform. We handle all the customer service and all of the running of that business. Employees get a text message every time they get paid. They have an app that shows their balance and so on. The way we make money is through a very nominal fee. There's a paid model for the software, a monthly software, and the second way is through interchange. So every time that person spends money at a point of sale, we share that interchange with the network. So we make about 1.5% on that transaction. So it's a volume play for sure.
Yeah, definitely is. And now, that fee, is it on the receiving individual or the company that's sending the payment?
Neither.
Okay.
So
it's just on the transaction.
Right. Because if you go spend $100 at, call it Walmart, yeah. Walmart's getting 90, and you use a debit card or a credit card, Walmart's getting 97.
Right.
About 97.
Right,
and so we split that delta with the network.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're not charging Walmart more. You're not charging the consumer more. You're splitting it with the person who's already getting the 3%. It seems.
That's
Got
right.
it. Understood. Let's talk about some similar companies that might be in this space as well. That might be your competitors. I'd love to know what you believe gives you the advantage to be able to successfully expand in the United States and continue growing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great companies out there. Chime is one example. Payfair is another incredible example. The way we've gone to market is a little different. We picked a sector. So we saw that there was something broken in the hospitality sector, and we set out to fix that. And we got traction so quickly because we were providing digitization and features that these workers really needed right at that time. Our cost of acquisition was much lower because we're signing one restaurant and getting 10,000 employees. So that was a big advantage for us. And now that we've got this critical mass and we're growing so quickly, it's great because we can further monetize that with other features. So we've added a budgeting tool. We're adding, healthcare and all kinds of other features that inspire that worker, and really create a sticky solution beyond being paid.
Now, when it comes to expanding, though, I'm sure you're going to end up facing a lot of challenges. I'd love to know that in Canada or in the US, what are some challenges that y'all are facing, and how are you best suited to kind of overcome them?
So, what a challenge for sure that I think us and everyone else in the fintech space are facing is security. We've had to really invest and enhance our security to make sure everyone is safe, and that we're able to get ahead of fraud and fraudsters, et cetera. So that's very hot right now, and so we're busy at that, and really just making sure that we have this personal attention to each of our clients. We try not to treat our client base as a mass. We try to treat them as individuals, and of course that takes a lot of scale, a lot of investment in client success. And so, we're just working that one client at a time. And our attrition, our churn is very low. So I think we're doing some things right.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Now, I know you're obviously in Canada. You're obviously in the United States as well. Any other businesses outside of those two countries, or any plans to go outside, overseas at all in terms of expansion?
Eventually, and as mentioned in the beginning, launching into those countries, you really have to look at the opportunity and figure out if it's worth the investment, because it is a significant investment. So right now, we feel that with what the traction we have in Canada, how we can further monetize our, hundreds of thousands of users in Canada, and now 10x it in the US, that's a really big piece for us to choose. So we're really happy with that market right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when it comes to kind of having the business grow, you obviously need to make money and to be profit. You explain what your business model is. Have you also seen your profit, margins kind of grow as well as you expand into different areas, or anything down the pipeline that you're able to share to kind of help those profit margins as well? Because I know you mentioned about a 1.5% cut is kind of what you take, 1 to 1.5%. Anything to kind of grow that?
Oh, that's such a great question. You've led me right to where I want to go, because our COGS are high for sure, this business, until you get the volume. So we're going to start seeing our margins get better and better. But with the Payfare relationship, I mean, these guys are super successful. We're now leveraging the economies of scale that they've grown and been able to win through their volumes. So our processing, our banking, all of those super high transaction fees are now controlled for us, and we're able to really appreciate that. So we're looking forward to better margins as we move through this year. We don't provide guidance, but we're bullish.
Totally understand. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's interesting because you mentioned that you're a volume related business, right? That you kind of make that 1%, 1.5%. So even if like a quarter basis point of profit margin increase, I mean, that is huge for your bottom line there as well. Well, Marilyn, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. There's so much that we've covered here today, but before I let you go, I would love to know if there's anything that you wanted to talk about, anything you wished I would ask about, any topics on your mind that you'd like to talk to your viewers about. The floor is all yours.
Oh, thanks. I think, I just want to stress how important the worker profile is to us. We realize that in today's environment, there's a lot of stress and anxiety. Things have changed, dramatically over the last 2 to 3 years. We're really getting behind that. We're really trying to get into the psyche of the worker and to inspire them and to make for a more fulfilling event. And paying them same day is one thing, but there are so many other things like credit, and as I mentioned, healthcare and budgeting tools to help them, achieve goals and that kind of thing. So that's really what we're working towards. We want to be way beyond cloud banking.
Yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that, especially with e-commerce going. Security, I know it's a big thing, and I know you mentioned you have all the tools and resources to handle that as well. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Appreciate you hanging out with us, and that is the founder and CEO of XTM. Thank you once again. I look forward to more press releases and conversations with you in the future.
Sounds good. Thanks. Have a great one. Bye.
Take care. It's someone in the chat had mentioned how this is kind of big for the service industry folks and the folks that work in that type of the world. And it's big for everybody to kind of make sure that they get paid properly, they get paid on time. And so it's really unique, and it's great to kind of see a company that's bridging what the consumer is needing. And what I love most is that the business is not paying more, right? So that 3% that they talked about, for those of you who don't know, whenever you go to a gas station or anywhere else and you swipe, right, Visa and everybody else takes a cut from that transaction. But what's cool is that they're not charging the consumer more, so us, the users, and they're also not charging the company more to kind of deteriorate from using their service. They're taking a cut, the delta that she talked about in the middle that is already present there. So that's really awesome to see. And again, appreciate you guys in the chat hanging out with us as well. As always, if you ever have any questions, please let us know. You can always give us feedback and we'll pass it along to the company as well. But really want to thank them for coming on today. And we want to thank you for joining us for All Access. And we'll see you on the next show that's going to be starting. I believe Aaron might have something for you, but thank you for joining us for All Access.